You may remember back in July, I made a video about smoke alarms, like adding them to my home automation system. And in that video, I specifically called out my friend Kyle Rankin. And it was a thing that we were going to do, go back and forth, like, what's the nerdiest thing you did? The problem is he had a little bit of camera issues, and then I kind of got distracted, and now it's October. But Kyle did actually submit me or send me a video, and it's been completely my fault that it hasn't been edited and posted. So that's what this is. This is a video from Kyle in response to me, and hopefully I come up with a response to him. And it takes, like July, August, September, October. Hopefully we do it a little more often than every 3 months. But even if we do, it's still fun. Kyle's great, and Kyle, thanks for playing. Here he is.
Hey, Sean. So first, thanks so much for asking. To answer your question, the nerdiest thing I did today was a blend of like two of my nerdy interests, I guess. So the first one is 3D printing. So as you know, I've been doing 3D printing for like a decade, and I've made all sorts of things. Everything ranging from toys for my kid, all the way from when he was a tiny baby to now. I've made like parts to fix my dishwasher, Raspberry Pi cases, and like even like cell phone stands with little built-in hinges, which are pretty cool. Although, frankly, most of the time what I make are parts for my 3D printer. That's usually what you use a 3D printer for, I guess. So that was one interest. The other interest is relatively new. It's a board game we've been playing for the last year or so called Wingspan. Now, if you haven't played this, I think you would like it because I know that you're into birdwatching, and the creators of the game are into birdwatching too. And the idea behind the game is that it has a bunch of just beautifully illustrated cards with birds, each different types of birds on them. Those birds are all from North America, and they have stats about their wingspans and their food and the habitats they live in. The goal of the game is to play as many birds in your habitat as you can using food and other things, and to try to attract the most of them as you can to your habitat and get points at the very end of the game based on all of that. What I like about Wingspan is that while you are competing with the other players, you're not out to like destroy the other players. A lot of games these days are sort of focused on to win you must just annihilate everything of the other players and sort of attack the other players or something. And this isn't like that at all. I mean, like even like older games like Monopoly, like when you lose Monopoly, it's just devastating because you just like, I've driven you to the brink of bankruptcy, Wingspan's not like that. At the end of the game, you may lose, but it's just not a devastating loss. It's just sort of like more of a fun, oh, I didn't build a good habitat. So I like that about the game. It's a little bit more positive as far as that goes. And we like it so much, we got the Oceania expansion pack, which this includes all kinds of birds from like Australia. For instance, you'll get emus and kookaburras and things like that. The problem is that it, along with the regular Wingspan game, comes with all of these different parts. Now, normally the parts are shipped in these like little baggies. So whenever you're opening the game, you open these little baggies and you're dumping out all these little pieces and trying to organize everything. And so it takes a while to set up the game. The other downside is when you're done playing the game, putting everything back into little baggies and putting everything back is always like just takes extra time and kind of a pain. When I got this expansion pack, I was wondering, well, how do I organize all of that? Because we have extra cards, I may want to separate those cards from the other cards. How do I do that? How do I store everything? Well, thankfully, someone online created a organizational system for Wingspan that was 3D printable. And I'm no 3D designer, so I rely heavily on designs that other people have made. And you can see it here. What you'll notice is that basically the entire box is full, but the lids are all magnetic. So you can actually take them off and they have magnets on them, and you can see nectar there. And as another example, you can see bird cards there. And so it's really nice that when you're playing the game, you just take the lids off and put the boxes wherever they need to go for the game. And then when you're done, it's very easy to put it back, which makes it a lot more enjoyable to play the game. I mean, I liked it so much that I decided, well, the lids, I'm not sure about black, so I even tried it out in white. I'm probably going to replace them with the white lids. So in any case, to answer your question, the nerdiest thing I did today was 3D print a organizational system for the game Wingspan. What was the nerdiest thing you did today?